I'm going to take the copyright hit on this one. I had decided that I was taking so many copyright hits, and so many of these stations were making money on views that I was going to try to reduce the number of actual videos that I take from mainstream media, and just use pictures and commentary. But this one, I'm going to take the hit on. I don't care. Now, good housekeeping. For those of you who are not aware of it, I cannot stand Super Coon, Grecian formula goatee wearing Sheriff David Clarke Jr. This guy is an affront to the black community and black people everywhere, for the most part. There are some, obviously, that will subscribe to every position, any and all positions that this man takes. I ain't one of them, and I think it's important that in his next election, which is coming up next year, that we as a people get together in the county of Milwaukee and vote this prick out. We need to vote him out. Now, just so that you're aware, the Republicans, holier than thou, when it comes time for the Milwaukee County elections, they will vote straight ticket, except in the case of Sheriff David Clarke. They will all cross over and vote for him, which is what allows him to win his election for county sheriff. But his numbers have been falling. And this past election, he won by, I believe it was about 2%, maybe 3%. There needs to be a grassroots effort to get somebody up there to run against him in the primary to get him out, so that we don't have to see his Grecian formula goatee face again, if at all possible. Now, he probably will appear on Fox News, but I'm going to do a separate video about Fox News in a few minutes. Anyway, here's the segment from the Joy Reid show this morning, talking about David Clarke having even more problems. And I'm probably going to do a little bit more research into an article that was done regarding him making fun of the mayor of Milwaukee, who had come to the defense of a woman who was being attacked. Here we go.
Okay, so remember the last hour I warned you about the dangers of voting without thinking in states with open primaries? Well, here's a cautionary tale. Remember this guy? Do you recognize him? Here he is.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to make something very clear. Blue lives matter in America. Many Americans increasingly have an uneasiness about the ability of their families to live safely in these troubling times. This transcends race, religion, ethnicity, gender, age, and lifestyle.
So he usually looks a little bit more like this, all decked out in a crisp cowboy hat, fiercely promoting Donald Trump's law and order agenda. As the Democratic Milwaukee County Sheriff, yes, his name is David Clarke, and he's a Democrat whose profile has risen sharply since Trump's 2016 campaign, with fiery speeches about the evils of gun control and TV appearances, mostly on Fox, railing against Black Lives Matter activists. Well, this week, the sheriff's cowboy hat might have popped up in your newsfeed again, because he's being sued for abuse by multiple pregnant women who say they were forced to give birth in shackles while in custody at his jail. The new federal lawsuit alleges that one of the 40 plaintiffs that the federal lawyers expect to represent was shackled before, during, and after delivery at a local hospital. That lawsuit, filed on March 14th, follows the suit filed late last year about the death of an infant child born in a Milwaukee maximum security cell. That was one of 4 deaths in Clarke's jail within a span of just 6 months. And all of that's just resurfacing this week because Clarke was in the news for publicly mocking Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett over a 2009 incident where Barrett was viciously beaten while trying to protect a grandmother and her grandson. Clarke talks like a far-right conservative, but runs as a Democrat because that's the only way you can win in Milwaukee County. And Republican voters, encouraged by groups like the NRA and by former Republican Governor Tommy Thompson, cross over to vote for Clarke in the open Democratic primary. Clarke has already begun raising money for his re-election campaign in 2018. The polls show that only 31% of Milwaukee voters approve of the job he's doing. Well, soon, Milwaukee County voters will get to choose between a TV crime fighter and a real one. Choose wisely.
Now, in my opinion, there is more than enough ammunition out there for whoever wants to run against David Clarke in the Democratic primary to whoop his ass. I mean, naturally whoop his ass. So hopefully people are paying attention in the county of Milwaukee, and they could see that this guy is not a Democrat. He is not a Democrat. He runs as one because most people tend to vote straight line Democrat. So we need that primary, hopefully, for the office of sheriff to draw a lot of attention, not just in Milwaukee County, but across the country, so that whoever is running against him can get the necessary support to whoop that ass. Straight out, unfiltered. That's just the way I feel. And I am damn sure going to keep up with this fool because we could actually do something about him. I'm adding this as promised. Here's the article regarding Sheriff David Clarke basically berating and, in my opinion, even threatening the Milwaukee mayor. Excuse me. Trump sheriff threatens mayor, scorns him for getting his ass kicked, aiding woman. You want some more, taunts conservative Wisconsin lawman David Clarke? This particular story was done by the Huffington Post, as you can see right there. Anyway, Milwaukee's hard right sheriff David Clarke, a campaign surrogate for Donald Trump, has publicly threatened and derided the Democratic mayor for getting his ass kicked when the politician rushed to the aid of an older woman under attack. Mayor Tom Barrett was viciously beaten when he helped protect a grandmother and her year-old grandson in 2009 as they were attacked at a state fair by a disturbed man. Clarke lashed out at Barrett over the 7-year-old confrontation after the mayor complained that Clarke was often missing from his post because he's too busy boosting his career as a high-profile Trump supporter on conservative talk shows and plugging his new book. The last time Tom Barrett showed up at a crime scene, he got his ass kicked by a drunk tire iron-wielding man who beat him within inches of his life, Clarke ranted in a post on the official Facebook site for the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office. The milquetoast mayor, trying to play cop, foolishly thought he could simply talk the man who beat him senseless into backing down. Clarke concluded ominously, "Time to crawl back into your hole, Tom, unless you want some more of this because I have some." Now that is just strictly bullshit. Number one, I salute the mayor because he acted in defense of a grandmother and her year-old grandson. That's probably more than David Clarke would have done, and I have no doubt whatsoever of that. But for him to berate this man for coming to that woman's defense just shows how chicken shit David Clarke is. Now, hopefully this particular article is going to gather some momentum in the fight to dethrone, and I'll say the word dethrone, but really it's unseat David Clarke from his position as Milwaukee County Sheriff. But for this guy to be as unfeeling as he is, to be as much of a jerk as he is, and in my opinion, to threaten the mayor of Milwaukee is unconscionable. And I believe that there should be some cause of action against Mr. Clarke just for making this threat, both on a radio and I guess on the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office official Facebook site. There's gotta be some violation of policy as far as the Sheriff's Department is concerned with him posting something like this.